So how good are you at recruiting? It's one of the key things that every single business owner needs to get really expert at, because if you don't, then you're going to increase the chances of mishires, and you stand a high risk then of having the wrong people in your company, which will then lead to pressure and everybody else having to carry the water of the poor performance. So I want to share with you some of the key observations, some of the key errors that I've noticed that people make when it comes to recruiting. Now, the stats are horrendous around mishires. So something like 50% of hires are mishires. In some areas, it's as high as 70%. So it is one of those areas that you really need to get right. There are all sorts of stats around how expensive, what the cost is of a mishire. So something like 14 times the salary. Plus there's also, there's not only the salary, there's all of the opportunity cost, there's all of the hassle, there's all of the lost time. So getting recruitment wrong is an expensive exercise. And I want to take you through the 4 things that I want you to really focus in on next time you've got an important hire to make in your business. So the first thing is make sure that you are really clear on what you're looking for. So many people start the recruitment process just kind of thinking, well, yeah, I need a salesperson, I need a marketing manager, I need an operations director, without really taking the time to get super clear on the outcomes that you're expecting from that role. Here's the thing, if you are not really clear on the specific outcomes that you want that individual to achieve, you're not going to be able to go through to the next step, which is getting super clear on the skills, experience, and cultural and attitude requirements that you're looking for. So without that clarity of what you are looking for, you're not going to be able to assess for it properly in your recruitment process. So if you start off this process with a very hazy view, with a general understanding of what you're looking for, it's really not good enough. You need to get crystal clear. If you're looking for a salesperson, or you're looking for a salesperson that has proven experience in selling service products to a specific core customer, that's the kind of level of depth you need to go into. The chances are that if you're looking for somebody that's going to be able to close £1 million worth of sales per month in your company, if they're not doing a version of that in their existing roles, and if they haven't done that over a long period of time, they're probably not going to be able to do it for your business. So thing number 1 is get super clear on what you're looking for. Not only skills and experience, but also make sure that you are clear on what kind of attitude you're looking for, what kind of mindset you're looking for in an individual. And there's another thing called flow. Now, flow is quite an interesting concept. Flow is all about, does that person's natural abilities, natural talents fit within the role? So for example, if you're looking for an FD, you need somebody that has high levels of attention to detail. That needs to be something that's really natural to them, that they have high levels of attention to detail, that they are naturally pretty structured, that they take the time, that they're very numeric, all of that kind of stuff. Because sometimes you might have somebody that you bring into the business that on the face of it has the experience, has the skills, but because those skills are out of flow, that particular role is out of flow, over the long term, or even sometimes the medium term, that person then starts to slip into their default position, the way that they really are after the honeymoon period, and then you see performance starts to drop, and then it's 2 years later, and you've got somebody that's a poor performer, and you're kind of thinking like, what the hell's going on? This person shone in their interview, but they're just kind of 6 months later, and they're absolutely awful. So that is all about the flow. Do their natural abilities and talents sit within the kind of the ballpark that you're looking for that particular role? So if you are really clear on what you're looking for, then the next thing for you to focus on is having a proper structured recruitment process. So many people I meet have gone from like CV in to face-to-face interview to job awarded, which is nuts. You really need to think about taking the time to come up with a proper structured process. My philosophy is you want your potentials to jump through a couple of hoops. You want to put them through it, really. You really want to assess. You want to put them through a proper, rigorous assessment to make sure that they've got what it takes and that you have seen evidence that they can do it. So need somebody that's going to do lots of telemarketing calls? Well, make sure that there's a proper telephone interview. Need somebody that can understand technical drawings? We'll put technical drawings in front of them. Think about the different components of your recruitment process and make sure that each component is then assessing the relevant bits of your skills and attitude mindset requirements. So if you've got clarity of what you're looking for, and if you have a proper process that is followed and well understood by everybody that's involved in recruiting in the company, the next thing for you to make sure that you do is not to settle. So many people, they just settle. They go through a recruitment process. They choose the best of a bad bunch. You have to be brave. If somebody does not shine, if somebody doesn't like absolutely blow you away from your initial recruitment campaign, you have to be prepared to start again. Do not be tempted to take the best of a bad bunch. And you know, the trouble is, if you're desperate, you tend to make silly decisions. So it's really important that you do be honest with yourself, you know, or you're making this decision out of desperation, or you're making this decision because it is the right fit, it's the right person. I always think when you find the right person, it's a little bit like finding the right house. You know, you wouldn't, you know, when you go and view houses, if you're in the market for that, you know, you walk into a house and you just kind of feel it. It's the right house. It completely fits. One of my clients, he likes to use the phrase that if there's ever any doubt, there is no doubt. And I think that really does apply to recruitment. If you're not really sure, then you're sure. Like, you have to be absolutely convinced that this person is the right fit, and you also need to be very objective about assessing their abilities and their experience against the outcomes that you are looking for, which we spoke about in the first step. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is that I don't think this is an area that enough business owners in particular educate themselves in. If you haven't read any books on recruitment, if you haven't attended any courses on recruitment, if you haven't really educated yourself on recruitment, that's almost certainly going to lead to you making more recruitment errors than you need to. At Google, they consider recruitment to be one of the key skills that managers need to be able to perform in their company. And if it's good enough for Google, it is probably good enough for us. So I reckon taking the time to really understand how to interview, how to ask good quality questions, how to structure recruitment processes properly, how to come up with really clear outcomes, all of that kind of stuff needs to be supported by good quality knowledge. Because without that, you are almost certainly destined to mishire. So those are the key things I want you to think about. Next time you have an important hire to make in your business, make sure that you are crystal clear on what you are looking for, both from a skills and attitude perspective and from an attitude and mindset perspective. Make sure that you've got a proper structured recruitment process, that there are various steps. Each step has a clear purpose, and that they are assessing for the skills and attributes that you are looking for. Don't settle. If somebody's not right, be brave and start again. And if you need to start again after that, then start again and keep on going until you find the right fit. And the other thing is educate yourself. Become expert at recruiting. If you have the right people around you, your business will become so much easier to run.